Talk Podcast. That's right. Realest. That's right. My homeboy Branded. That's right. 750 on this motherfucking beat. Let's go. L-A-S-T-C-I-R-C-L-E. This is the Real Talk Podcast. Deep on the scene. Bumping loud through your speakers and your cell phone screen. L-A-S-T-C-I-R-C-L-E. This is the Real Talk Podcast. Deep on the scene. Bumping loud through your speakers and your cell phone screen. You can search the web for many minutes. This is the podcast where everyone can come and get it. Come eat the spinach and get swole off it. Blow some gas off it. Sip something while you listen and watch it. And be your boss off it. The hottest topics and the views you're watching. Co-hosted by Branded, the shit ain't stopping. Come and get you some. I'm about to make a run. Don't wanna hear that bullshit, cause here the realest come. Live in 3D, please come see me. You can listen in your car or at home on TV. You never know who's stopping by to drop jewels. Real Talk Podcast, we're on the move. L-A-S-T-C-I-R-C-L-E. This is the Real Talk Podcast. Deep on the scene, bumping loud through your speakers and your cell phone screen. L-A-S-T-C-I-R-C-L-E. This is the Real Talk Podcast. Deep on the scene, bumping loud through your speakers and your cell phone screen.
Good. Just enjoying this single. Come on, now let's get this thing crunk. The B-Mo shit, let's go.
Hey.
Get up, come on. Hey, this is coming out February, right, Paula?
Yeah, February 9th.
Oh, let's get it. I make the remix.
That is the remix.
You gotta remix the remix, nigga. Welcome in, Paula Campbell, to the Circle Real Talk Podcast. Been knowing this woman for a minute, Real. So not only is it an honor and a privilege to have you back in the circle, but we got some stuff to talk about. Not just this single, but Real. This woman is not just a singer-songwriter. She's an artist of all makes and walks of life and things like that. Book writer, author, superwoman, super mom, superhero.
Man, angelic voice. You know, I know the voice. You know me, man.
No doubt.
Yeah,
So
I know the voice.
So to have her here hanging out with us is a privilege. Paula, what's good?
Man, I'm tired as hell. I've been going all day today. Today was a day.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but I'm in DC. I'm not in Baltimore. I'm in DC. So I'm in DC this week working on some stuff non-related to music. Well, some related to music, but mostly not related to music. So yeah, it's been some work.
That's dope.
Keeping yourself busy is a good thing when everybody wants to figure out like how can I keep myself busy? What's going on? Listen, you gotta tell me something, Paula, about this thing real quick, because I saw you on TV and I was like, that wasn't her. That wasn't her. It was it was on, what was the BET something? It was something that I saw.
Oh, the Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Oh.
How did that come about? Because I'm always keeping tabs on you, Paula. So I was like, when you posted it and put it up, I was like, come on. I didn't know nothing about this. So how did that work?
I mean, well, you really can't talk about it until it's done. You know what I mean? Like, and like the industry, especially when it's acting more than anything, and you're new to this, like I'm no like Denzel protege. So it's kind of like until it's ready, it's finished, it's edited, and production says, okay, this is the release, and you see a trailer for it or sizzle, whatever, then you can't really talk about it. So they had actually reached out to me to play Lauren Taylor, which is a true story. So for those of you who don't know, Fatal Attraction is about true crime. And the story was actually very, very sad and unfortunate. The weird thing is she had a twin sister. I don't know if it was her twin sister or her other sister. I had to block her on my social media platforms.
Damn, it
she was
came to
very
real
angry.
life.
Huh?
I said it got to your real life.
Yeah, like I'm not a tweeter, so she just kind of like started like trying to cuss me out. So I'm like, hey, like I have had loved ones that have been murdered, so I understand how sensitive a situation can be and how fragile people are that love that person. So I literally was like, hey, like I'm just playing this role. Like, hey, somebody else would have played it if I didn't play it.
Right.
And I feel like
Right.
we tried to depict Lauren Taylor in a positive light as best as I could. And I remember the scene where they zipped me up in the body bag. I don't know if you recall that, but that was a real body bag, and they really zipped me up in the body bag. And it really didn't hit me until that moment, like somebody did this to her. And I really, like, in that moment, I really ached for her. I think that was the moment I was just like, somebody that she knew, somebody that she trusted did this to her.
Right.
So honestly, like when you start feeling that personal connection with your work, especially something that is as what traumatic as that, it's even hard to really discuss. So in that moment, like I wasn't embarrassed or anything about it, but it was like it was work, but it wasn't something that I guess I could say that I was happy about. Like I'm always proud of my work, but I couldn't say that I was happy about it because I was literally playing a part of someone that was really here, and it's really happened to her. She was laid out on the ground with and burned and choked to death by somebody that was supposed to care about her. So it really wasn't a lot to talk about at that point. And I think when her sister was upset, which rightfully so, again, nobody wants to see the murder of their loved ones played out on television, no matter who okayed it or what have you.
Yeah, it's
but
a job.
not,
You wasn't a killer.
keep on cussing me out, girl.
Yeah,
So
she can't come after you, man. Yeah, put that block on her ass.
Yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
Because you can't say I don't want to say anything nasty and be
Yeah.
insensitive.
Nah.
Like she has every right to feel that way about her sister.
Yeah, but you acting, you getting paid to do a job. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And Paula, up top, it was a story that needed to be told, right? I mean, that's why they do these fatal attraction little scenarios where they do it's real life, but at the same time, this is real stuff that went down, and you're portraying a situation that needs to be heard worldwide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because some people really need to understand that the people that they believed that they can trust, or they believe people that are still living and in that space that they can trust, that they actually have to put up a boundary and kind of take a step back and look at that situation from the outside, especially when it's selfish. And I think when we get into especially relationships and we deal with someone, especially women, like one of the most hateful crimes can be like a crime of passion. Right. Men and women both, like they hurt this person because they no longer want to be with them, even if they were in the wrong, or they hurt this person because they do want to be with them. We've seen fatal attractions or stories where the other woman will kill the wife or kill somebody because she wants to be with the guy that's been cheating the whole time, and then she gets caught and nobody has them. So I just think, like it definitely is a wake-up call to how we respond to people that really choose to use us, to abuse us, and to play into our situations where it only serves them.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, who you portrayed, I mean, was, like I said, Paula, I was caught off guard because I wasn't expecting it. But like you said, it was like, TV and having these portrayals and things like that. But it was good to see you on screen telling the tale. You know what I'm saying? So I was proud of you for that, because, as active as you've been in this business of music entertainment, just to kind of circle back to this, I mean, it's great to be able to see you continuing this, enhancing your legacy, doing certain things or whatever. So, Real, before you ask anything, I gotta ask my girl, like the single Girlfriend coming out in February, the return to doing a lot of music, because I know you've had singles, you've done a lot of stuff over the years that I've known you or whatnot. So this one. Tell me about the reason that you wanted to come back with this one.
Well, let me say, Girlfriend actually was written in the 90s by Chinky. If you guys remember the group Lover, that was Cisco's group, Lover.
Yeah.
So Chinky actually wrote this, and I heard this song in the 90s.
Wow.
The producer and I are great friends, and he let me hear it, and I couldn't wait for them to come out, and then Lover broke up, right?
Wow.
So literally, since the late 90s, I've been like, I want to redo this song. So then I redid Girlfriend and we put it out, but I wanted to make it a more up tempo. And the producer, who was still the same producer from the 90s, he was against it. He wanted it to be a certain way. And it's still a great record. Like, it's great, but I kind of felt tempo. So what I decided is like, okay, well, we'll keep this one because it's a great record and people like just the message in it. To women, no disrespect to men, it is though. However, oftentimes where women need to support women in a space where they're hurting over a relationship. And not that it never happens to men. I don't know what y'all feel. So I can't tell y'all story. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell your story. I don't know it. I don't feel it on the inside. But
Pick your shit. Pick your shit.
Like I felt like very like I wanted to move with it and still like, girl, like, come on, we good. Like, I ain't gonna let you cry. We're gonna be up. We're gonna do this. Like, we are going to get through this and we're gonna still smile and we're gonna be successful. We're gonna be beautiful and we're going to heal. And it's not a whole bunch of male bashing or I'm gonna be sad or I'm gonna bust your house windows up or burn your house up, whatever. Like, it's just like, yo, like, girl,
no
I got
Angela
you. And I feel like we need more of that. Like, today, not knocking music at all, because I think that we all evolve and every generation has a different sound. And, you know, the 70s was different, the 60s was different, the 50s, and then came the 80s and the 90s, which I will live in forever probably. But you know, so as time evolves, time goes on and we evolve as people and musicians, then sounds change. I just don't want to try to fit in with what seems to be happening, whether it be a particular sound and the way music sounds, or particular topics, i.e. sex and drugs and can I cuss on you? For lack of better words, pussy. Like, everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna put this, like, God damn, calm down. You know? Like everything doesn't have to be that. And not that everything, because there's definitely musicians and music that I love and I adore. I just want to be true to Paula, and, you know, prayerfully that continues to work to some degree.
To the point where you're still doing it and doing it at a high level as well. So, you know, be commended. Real
with the industry being so fickle, Paula, what motivates you to stay mashing in it? And, you know, because you've been in it and you've been putting out some solid music for a long time. Like, what motivates you though?
Yo, I don't even know. Honestly, it's the people. Like, it's you guys. Like, when people reach out, I mean, I get so many DMs, and I'm sorry for everybody. Like, I can't respond to every DM every day, every week. I cannot. I can't. But I do try to respond and at least say something to almost everybody that I see. When people like, hey, Paula, when you putting out more music, or I love you so much, or like, and outside of the fact that what I've realized is that my gift is not for me. It's for everybody else. Like, sometimes my gift isn't healing for me, but people say, oh, I heard you speak, or I heard this song and it made me do this and I felt like this, and like, that is inspiring. Like, really, me? Because as an artist, like, I do this because I love it, but when it affects you and it makes you feel good, it makes you feel I've done something. And that, when people say those things, it truly motivates me to keep going.
That's dope. Y'all have people.
2014, and Paula, I'm gonna tell the story. I know you know the story. 2014. I remember, you know, during the days when we were doing Radio Real, when we was on Blog Talk doing our thing, I heard Paula. I heard Denial, that the remix with Neo. I saw the video. I saw the other videos you had, and I was like, all right, I need to go find this woman because I need to get her on this show, and I need to tell her thank you for the music that you put in and continue to do. So ever since then, real 2014, me and this woman have been still connected. And you mentioned earlier, Paula, about feeling. It's a feeling that we all have when we listen. We have certain moments that I remember, not just the videos that you put out and done in the book. We'll talk about you being an author in a second, but just that feeling that you get when it's not just a good record, but the talent in your voice and stuff like that. So fast forwarding now to 2023, do you come off feeling the same way about music like I feel about you and Real feel about you? And do you feel that way about other people too when it comes to this industry though?
Absolutely. Like, let me tell you something. Jasmine Sullivan, I just want to put her in my pocket. Like, I want to put her in my pocket. I want to lock her in my pocket and never let her go. Like,
old blue jeans with the zip on it, zip.
I want to lock her down. I want to lock her down. I want her to be a prisoner. Like, I never want to let this lady go.
Well, how you do?
Yeah, and I mean different type. Like, I still love Chris Brown. Like, I love Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, CB a different kind of
dude. Everything that Mario's coming back. I've always loved Mario, but I'm loving this evolution ever since that verses and all of that cocky. Like, I'm like, like I'm loving everything about it. And there's so many artists that I really love and appreciate. But when I think about like the whole body of work, like a Jasmine Sullivan is always gonna speak to me like a Faith Evans would, or Mary J. Blige, or Fantasia, because I'm an R&B hip hop kind of head. You know what I mean? Like, that's who I am. I'm R&B hip hop all day, every day. That's what's gonna speak to me, because that's just what invokes my soul. But to like feel great. But to that point, I think, because I love country music as well. And for me, that's what R&B is. Like, R&B, just like country music, tells a story.
Yeah.
And it can be very straight to the point. But it's just like a slick way of telling you something. And for me, like, if you listen to country music, that's exactly what R&B is, with this extra twang. But R&B, you know, like, that's the soul of it all. Yeah. So yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's dope, man. Yeah, R&B, that's like country, all that shit. That's like the blues. You pouring your heart out.
Yeah.
Man, you got it's the blues. You like, let me get this shit out right quick, man.
Like, you listen to those songs and you're like, dang, he know, like, he talking about me, or she's talking about me. And it like, it's just like, how did you know? Almost every word you said was exactly what I woke up this morning feeling. I hate you, but I love you so much.
Yeah, like some old Bobby Womack. That motherfucker.
Yeah, come on. If you think you low it down, come on.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah. Tell it. I mean, and Paula, that's how people feel about you. I mean, you laced with history. Your legacy is so much so far entrenched in this business that, you know, we got to give people they flowers right now too at this point in time. You know what I mean? We can't just stop for a minute and just take it for granted and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So not just the, you know, I mentioned Denial, but even before that, like the contributions with 3-6, everything that you did to be able to get it on a high level voice, I'm telling you, is immaculate. Like I told you years ago, that, you know, you could get it all. You could hear certain things are real. You notice, you know, what was the one thing? What was it?
Sometimes you don't even know you a legend. You don't even know you a legend when you live in it. You know what I mean? And because even my wife, she'll sing it. She'll just be walking through the house sometimes. It's hard out here for a pimp. You know what I mean? She'll kick that shit. You know what I mean? So you never know. You never know. You know what I mean? Everybody know that, from kids to everybody. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't know, and it's many records since then. But you know what I mean? You identify the people, and you put the face out there, man. So you know, a lot of people don't recognize that they legends when they just walk on the earth. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are past, and then you'll get deep into their catalog. But people to get deep into people's catalog while they still here, because you can still inspire the artists to go give you something better than what they already put out already. You know what I mean? Just like you saying, people telling you in your DMs that they got them through their day, and you'll read that and you'll be like, shit, I got something that's gonna really get you through your year now. You know what I mean? I got you through your day. I'm gonna get you through this year. Yeah, I got one for you right quick.
Do you think about your legacy, Paula, and in fact that, you know what, I know your career is still ongoing. It's just like in a sports term, you know, you win a couple of championships and you don't really look at it until you retire, but you're not done yet. You still got stuff to do. So, you know, do you look back at your legacy and be like, all right, doing all right?
I don't know. Like, honestly, it's scary because as an artist, like, even when people tell you that you're doing great, you don't know it. Like, we are normally our own worst critics. And most artists won't say, like, there is a bit of narcissism in every artist. Like, you know, because we want to be accepted. Like, yeah, I do this music because I love it, but if you don't love it, then shit, what I do it for?
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's almost like I need you to, like, I need this fuel for
yeah. Come tell me. You know what I mean? Let me play this snippet for you. Did you like that part?
I kind of try to not even think about it. I try to just say, okay, like, this is what I want to do, and I want to sing, and this is what I want to sing, and this is how I want to sing it. And then I try to disconnect from it. And if you get it, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. That's no slight to me. Like, some things are for some people and some things aren't. So I just try to, like, take it and appreciate everything that God allows me to see, and to feel that it's positive, and allow those things to fill me. But then I get scared, honestly. So I try to disconnect, just in the sense of, like, I never want to feel like, you know, people were like, oh, Paula, you this and this. And I feel like, yo, we all equal. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I understand in certain spaces I might have to have security because I have some celebrity, but I'm just like you. Like, I'm the girl from the hood. I'm the girl from White Lock Street. I grew up with nothing. I went to the worst public schools in Baltimore City. I was a teenage mother. Like, I had to get it out the mud, just like you. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna call me too many bitches, just like you.
Yeah.
You know?
That ain't gonna happen.
Just like you. Like, we're the same. And I never ever want to be in a space where I forget that not forget, but I even detach from the fact that we're all the same, we're all connected, and we all have a space in each other's lives, in each other's world, for a reason. And, like, I know that sounds like, oh, that's too deep, but that's really how I feel.
Right.
I hear a lot of soul in your music when I listen to a lot of different stuff. Like, did you sing in church coming up when you was young?
No.
Wow.
No. I went to church, like, my great grandfather, he had a church, so I would go to church with my great aunt, my aunt Celeste. That's my baby. And but I never, like, sang on the choir, and I didn't start singing, like, in anything. Now, I was in every last school assembly. I sang in every last school assembly from the time I was in the kindergarten, every single one, until I graduated.
Wow.
High school, like, literally. But you know, and I was in, like, the choirs in school and stuff like that, even the gospel choir in school. But I didn't sing in a church choir, literally, until after, like, Paula Campbell, How Does It Feel, all of that. Like,
wow.
Juanita Conti was the music director at the time at Empowerment Temple, and I sang in that choir, but that was about it.
That's dope. It's in you. It's in you. You know what I mean? So I had to sing in the choir. I had to shit me. I was, man, it made people. I had to. My mom used to rub that Vaseline on my forehead, pick my afro out, stick me in front of that microphone. I said, man, look, I'm gonna do this a couple times. I'm gonna turn into an usher after this. You know what I'm saying?
I was an usher. I wanted to be in a choir, but my mother, she didn't go to church. So only if Aunt Les would take me could I go to, like, choir rehearsals and go to church and stuff like that. So I kind of was not able. I don't want to say I wasn't in the choir because I just wasn't in the choir. I really wasn't able as a child to be a part of the church choir.
Yeah, back in my church, all the ushers was the homies. We was cool niggas. Stick their hand out. Hey, come on up over here. Then we run to the lunchroom, get some food and shit while church going on. I'm like, man, we kicked it. He was an usher.
Listen,
Was
my
cool.
brother, I have one living brother, and my brother still, like, when I am in Baltimore, he'd be like, Paula, do your usher march. Like, I still got that march.
They got the march. You know the march?
The march right there. Like, my usher march is
fed. Oh, you got to do the usher march in the video. You got to, that shit's serious. Yeah, they got a step. Don't have the white gloves on.
Since I was about 5 years old, that usher march, on point. I got one of those.
Hey, don't have them white gloves on. Oh, it's over with.
Hey, it's a wrap. Grandma
you gotta have the white gloves and the hat.
Grandma used to take 10 of us grandkids to Berkeley Mount Zion out this way, Baptist Church. I remember all that stuff. So we had to get up early in the morning. Didn't want to. We had to make it work. You know what I mean? So we did. We had to do.
My great grandmother had the chinchilla before the chinchilla was even a thing, and all of the jewels. My GGC still living. My great grandmother, she had all the jewels. The chinchilla. She sit on the first row, couldn't sing a lick, but she'd be loud, like louder than everybody.
Yeah.
But on that front row, I'd be like, okay, Gigi. You're embarrassing us, but all right. Nobody gonna say nothing because we don't want to get slapped.
Saying the wrong words to the song.
Listen.
Making up shit.
Paul, let me hit you with this. You're an artist. And to me, the cool thing about being on your social media is I was able to see some of the stuff that you've done. Like, I mean, I feel like you putting it out there, but that's still like a best kept secret. So is that your moment of zen when you just get to start painting and doing all kinds of stuff or whatnot? Tell us a little bit about it, because you and I never really talked about this part of your life. So share.
Painting for me, like my grandmother, my mom's mom, she passed away when I was 11, but I was very, very, very close to her. And she was into, like, my grandmother was, before she died, she got herself together, but she was all the way like in the street. Like, she was a gangster in real life. That's not even like joking. Like, and she was all the way in it. But she was such a free spirit. So people think, like, when I paint, because I paint a lot of like bodies and like the human anatomy, but that's, to me, like, that's how free my grandmother was. Like, and she was just so free. And so in my mind, like, that is just like, that's freedom, being able to be like, you just bear down everything. So that's kind of like my moments where I'm able to have some peace, or sometimes when I'm just like, I just need to stop everything else and connect with myself. And that's kind of like my space where I still get to share with my grandmother.
That's dope.
That's cool. Dope. I mean, and the fact that you're giving us little glimpses of it, I mean, that's appreciated, because some things you want to keep to yourself sometimes, right? Like, certain things or whatnot. And having those moments or those places where you just want to, what, this is mine. Nobody can take this away. Nobody don't need to really understand. This is just my thing. Maybe you can relate, maybe not, but it's hella cool that you're, what I'm saying? This is a thing. So, no, just keep doing that up. And I'm glad that this is a little segment that you can be able to just kind of keep. But good looking out for sharing with us too, though. So are you gonna sell any of your artwork?
I have sold a few pieces. When I do, the funny thing is people always inquire when I have like a man and a woman, but I always marry my couples. So I've had a few people say, like, guys, like 2 different guys, they wanted this one particular piece, and they were like, I don't want the rings to be on them, but I'm not changing it. Like, I created that for that union for those reasons. And so that's like me, that's my art. So you can't ask me to change what I believe. Like, you view it how you want to view it. I don't know if you be having chicks and they come over and get the wrong idea, but that's your business right there. So but honestly, I never paint to sell. Like, I just paint because it's a hobby, and yeah, that's what I feel in the moment. But you know,
Yeah.
if someone inquires and I don't feel connected, it's like two pieces that I feel like three
It
that
turn
I feel
into a
extremely
job then with
connected to.
somebody else telling you what to paint, probably. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. That's why I don't paint in front of anybody. Like I'll just like I might post a little piece afterward, but I never go live or you never see anyone with me while I'm painting. I just like to be quiet and in my space while I paint.
Love it. I
yeah,
love it. So,
good stuff.
you know, I got to ask you about books because you're an author.
I am.
So, you know, you blessed me with, you know, I know I made a couple of purchases. You signed a couple of them, sent it to your man right over here. I appreciate that. What's in your future when it comes to more book writing? What's going on, Paula?
Well, prior to the book that you have, which is If He Wanted to Be There, He Would. 6 Steps to Push Past the Breakup is the subtitle. And that book did really well. I actually, like someone asked me today, was like, why don't you carry your books with you? And literally like they sold so much and then I didn't have time to promote. And then I need to order more books. Like I literally have one book and it's in my bookshelf. And I'm afraid to like take it out because if someone
Somebody gonna
asks
ask you for it.
yeah, and I'm like, and now I'm really gonna have to like buy some, so or order some more. But prior to writing that, I wrote a memoir, or most of my memoir. Let me say that. So I was 18 chapters in, and then I wound up writing a screenplay based on the memoir. And so I've been shopping the memoir. So I haven't released the book because I guess I'm not where I want to end it, you know, and it's been, honestly, I've been writing this book for about 13, 14 years now. So I have 18 chapters, but it'll be so much to be revamped by the time I get to that space. And my prayer is, because I think I told you before that I had spoken to someone and we were kind of corresponding back and forth with Paramount Pictures about the screenplay.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, this is a series. And so then I'm working on a series, but the series has proven to be a bit more difficult. So I'm hoping to be able to shop and sell the screenplay, or do a production deal with the screenplay, the series, and the book. That's my ultimate goal with that. So we'll see.
So from start to end, how long did it take you to get everything up and running with your book? Right now, my wife's in the whole process. My wife is actually writing a book right now. And then me and Brand been talking. I'm finna do 3 of them. I got so much, and I got some cold ones. Even my mother-in-law got books. Her stuff is in stores too. Yeah, so I'm finna.
Honestly, it didn't take me. I'm a writer just by nature. Like I journal every single night. Like there's a page for each journal since day one of 2023. Like I journal literally every day. I don't care if I say I don't feel like journaling today.
Yeah.
Love you, bye.
Yeah.
Like I journal. So I'm a writer. So if he wanted to be there, he would. That came about very easily because I was just healed after a really bad breakup. And what I realized, because I don't know if you know anything about it, but Brand understands, like it wasn't a male bashing book or like, oh, you know, men, because men actually gave me way more feedback than even the women did. Like, oh my God, this helped me. And I didn't know that I was involved with a narcissist. And because what it talks about is us accepting accountability, ignoring the signs that we knew that this wasn't the person for us in the very beginning, just to have someone around, healing, not going back, stopping yourself from making the call, and having self-control. So it's really about you dealing with your feelings and how you respond to them after you've been hurt. Like there's a way to get through that. So it took me about, in total, 8 months to write that book, to write and
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty. That just came because when I say I was so done, I was like, oh my gosh, when I think about everything that I went through and all that, I can't believe this, but what did you ignore from the beginning, Paula? And what did this person show you in these times? And why did you go back? And why did you accept this? And it was really things that I had to deal with myself, whether it was childhood traumas, the fear of being a failure, like so many things, but it had nothing really to do with me having to leave that situation. it was all to do with the fact that I knew that I should have never been in the situation before I even got into it.
I feel you.
And Paula, that thing, and I know you and I had conversations, you know, right when it was released, and we had our show, we did our thing. But one thing, I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but just that alone, not just reading the book, and the fact of, you know, as old as I'm getting, there's a disconnect between communication and comprehension too, because at the end of the day, you can communicate all day, but if you can't comprehend what another person's saying, then you're just dealing with a whole new different thing, right? So it was eye-opener for me, because like you said, it wasn't just a tool that women could be able to read and understand, but even as guys, you kind of got to, you know, understand that fact too, because there is a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker. Paul, I'm gonna ask you one thing. I know you gotta come on. You from BMO.
Hey.
Are you a pot shaker? Do you know your way around the kitchen? Can you cook? What's happening?
Listen, you don't even want it in the kitchen with me. Like, I will make you dig up your ancestors.
No, you won't.
I will make you dig up your ancestors. I will make you dig up your ancestors and show
I'm from the
them.
South. I'm from the South. I'm that nigga.
Listen, I live in Atlanta, and hopefully that's not what you call the South, because I need Carolina too. But like the Carolinas,
You ain't talking about the Kakalakkas?
The Carolinas.
I don't care about the Kakalakkas.
My family's from the Carolinas, both sides. So at the end of
all
the day,
of my family is Louisiana and Texas. It's a different cook game. Yeah, okay. Okay. It's a different cook game.
If you say so.
Yeah.
However, when I say,
okay,
I will force you to listen. My great grandmother was a baker. My grandfather was a chef. And when I say, you don't even, and I have so many food allergies now, but I can bake anything from scratch.
Me do.
I can cook anything.
Me do.
And listen, I wish I could have
Raw Lee. I eyeball my shit. I don't even look at no books.
I wish I could have Raw Lee on this podcast, because he will tell you before how does it feel, like even got big. He had parties and he used to have me cater the parties. I used to cook for the parties. Like, when you taste my macaroni and cheese, it's the first thing that's gonna go every single time.
Me too. Your mac ain't fucking with my mac. My mac dangerous. I got some dangerous mac.
Listen. I really would debate you on this, but it's not worth it, because I win. Look, I'm trying to tell you something good.
I can look.
I'm trying to tell you something good.
It's all in my database. There ain't no recipe I gotta read.
It's already a smoking gun. It's already a smoking gun. It's been shot. It's done. Like,
man, y'all Baltimore motherfuckers, good talk game, boy. Ever since the war, y'all just been running.
Listen, anybody that takes my sweet potato pies, and let me give shout out to my best friend, because I took her recipe and I flipped it and I made it. Like, we battle these things. So she had the best sweet potato pies I ever tasted. Even like my had the best. When I say I flipped her recipe, now everybody want my sweet potato pies. So much so people are like, no, really, like. And I make the sweet potato pie minis now. And they're like, Paula, like, you really need to figure out, like, selling these. Like, people have serious conversations about investing to sell my sweet potato pies. I'm not joking with you.
You got to get them out.
So serious.
I got a buddy named Pete Steele.
He's the
coldest shit in LA.
Get them out like Auntie Patti LaBelle did with her.
It's an AR-15. It's smoking. It's done.
I'm the Draco in the kitchen. Yeah, the AR can't keep up with this hundo. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
The pin has dropped and the grenade has been thrown. It's done.
Hey, Brand, I asked the right question, didn't I? You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, but real, look at her face and see that confidence in her face, and that should tell you everything you need. Like,
the missile has hit the target. I'm trying to tell you.
I love it.
It's a nuclear one. Like, it's done. Like,
hey, we gonna have to.
Whenever you come to California, we go cook and just sit food out, and we go see what happens.
Listen, I'm gonna cook before I get there and just get you lower pieces, just so you can be like, oh my God, that's all you got for me.
Yeah, I do the same.
That's it.
I'm gonna put bird
I'm gonna turn you into a crackhead. You
Oh.
are going. It's like crack. I'm trying to tell you, it's crack.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
It's gonna blind you.
That confidence, ooh, it's oozing
I
out of
love it.
Paula right now. Like you ain't,
I love it.
Paula got that. You ain't seen shit, bruh. Like wait till
love
you see, wait till you taste. Hey, yeah, Paula, you gonna make your trip down to California? We gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out.
And get some of this good old cooking. She gonna be like, damn. Go back to BMO on a slow flight. That plane gonna be about to hit the ground. It's gonna be going so slow. She gonna be shit. Fuck with your West Coast.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
If it's good, I give you your props.
And I'm the same way. I come DJ at your party. You know what I'm talking about? That's like good. I fuck around in that kitchen now. You know what I'm talking about? My shit. All my shit is aiming in one direction. It's a job when you walk up in my shit. They know it's business, strictly business. Strictly business up in there, man.
Listen, I ain't gonna fight with you.
Yeah.
My weapon's already down.
Oh.
I've won.
You like you're practicing in the mirror like you get ready for a talent show back in the day when motherfuckers used to hold a brush in front of me.
You know, remember Mortal Kombat? Finish him! It's done.
I'm ready.
What's the finishing move? Finish him.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sitting down, so
like
I can't give you the kick. Gotta give you the
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Hey, Paula, a couple quick ones before we let you go. Before I throw a fun one, and I know Real probably got some real quick, but what's the one thing you would want or would like to accomplish that you could never put a price on?
Oh, that's such an awesome question. Oh, I love it. I don't know the answer to it, but the one thing that I would love to accomplish that I could never put a price on. Wow, there's so many things.
I'm going deep.
I'll start. It's something that I would like to do. As a child, I experienced like being homeless several times. What I would do is create housing and institutions for people in lack and homeless people. So a space for them to get therapy, for them to get clean if they are on drugs, to set up jobs and programs for them and help them to become homeowners and build generational wealth for their families.
That's dope.
That's it.
Look out for the next generation, man.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because I don't care where you are, what city, what state you're in. I mean, you know, I'm out here in the Bay, so there's so many over or underpasses, I guess you would say, in Oakland that there's embankments and, you know, of homeless people, right? And to me, I always look at it as like, man, the city knows this. Why in the hell? And there's empty like hotels or houses or whatever that's been vacant for so damn long.
I was having this conversation today as I'm in DC.
Yeah.
And they blocked off as like these bridges, these underpass with wide pavements. And there were families with tents like living in it. And so now they put like all of these boulders there so they can't put their tents there. And I was like, but there's so many like vacant houses in the city. Like I get it there, it's the gentrification, but like what are they supposed to do? And it's not that everybody is like lazy or on drugs or like we have veterans that, you know, need help that, I mean, mentally, you think if I'd had to see my boy just get blown up, I'm probably going to be messed up. I don't need help for a year. I probably need help for the rest of my life. And I'm probably going to need assistance for the rest of my life. So you think about that. You think about these mothers that have been raped and molested by their family members and friends and beat and even husbands and, you know, like, and boyfriends, and they don't know what to do with themselves and they're losing their minds. Like, people need help and assistance. And I know we can't help every single person,
but
but
you
I do
can't know.
believe that we turn too many people
It's so
away.
fuck ass country send so much money overseas. You can help. They can help everybody. They just don't want to help everybody. It's inner city people that have more trauma than people that go to war, because we in the street shooting it out over here just like they go over there and do the same thing. So that shit is traumatizing. You see your homeboy get smoked. You see your baby mama die in front of you, or a baby mother see her father die, or a mother see their son get killed, vice versa, father. So that shit sticks with you. You need a little help. You need your little. It's easy to go be homeless. All it takes is you miss a couple paychecks and you on the streets. You may wonder why niggas out here hustling, selling dope. These white folks out here selling the dope that we were selling. They done put it in buildings and cannabis spots now. So the dope man can't even hustle no more. You know what I mean? So it's fucked up. So that's why you see all these smash and grabs, niggas running in there hitting jewelry stores, or they think it's gonna get worse because they making it like that. You know what I mean? They want to take all these guns off the streets, but that's just so they can come into your household now and tell you what to do. You never give your weapons up. Yeah, never give your weapons up. At least worse than the police ain't gonna help you. Believe that.
No doubt.
Five of them is gonna help you. Yeah. But number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 gonna fuck you over. You see what them motherfuckers just did to dude in Memphis? 5 niggas. They did that to him. Come on, bro. That shit was excessive.
Yeah, I always look at it as like there's again, Paula, you said it. There's too many empty buildings for somebody to do something, and we may not be able to help or save them all, but there's too many. If I'm driving down East Oakland every day and I see the same people in the same place for years on end, and the city is not doing nothing, something's wrong with that picture, no matter how you look at it. And I'm just spotlighting that one because that's what I see every day for years and decades. But I'm sure anybody can go anywhere and see the same spot in your city and your state with the same problem. So apply pressure to do that. But no, I like that. I'm with you on that, because that's an ongoing thing. And I got one more reel. If you got one more, we got
one more. I ain't gonna stress her out because she's still over there thinking about that cooking shit. I know she's trying to
listen, it was never a thought. What's done is done. Today I went to a restaurant in DC, Mastro's, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you, I love lamb chops. I have a lot of food allergies. Like, I'm allergic to beef, but I can eat lamb, right? I make the best lamb chops ever. Mastro's beat me today. And I love, like, Morton's is like my go-to. Like, I'm like, oh, well, I can get some good Morton's lamb. Like, they're really good. But Mastro's killed me today. I was like, wow. And their Brussels sprouts, and they didn't even use bacon in it, was killer. It was. But very rarely do I come across something that's better than mine, which is why I don't eat out a lot.
Me, and I would tell you right now, I'm gonna drop some mustard on some lamb chops and toss them over and season the hell out and do them damn thing. I'm gonna bust your wig back with some lamb chops.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust your wig.
And here it came out there.
Yeah, okay. You'll go back to B-Mo, be like, you'll tell your kids, like, there's some pressure on that West Coast. There's some pressure on that West Coast. Don't get me to pull the shit up out that ocean and make old gumbo around this motherfucker. That Rugal be dangerous.
Oh, no, you'll have me on gumbo. Never made gumbo. I've never been a fan of gumbo, so.
Oh, okay. That's what they all say. Get on over here and get up in this pot.
All right. I'm not scared to try it.
Have you had gator?
It's just never been my thing.
Have you had gator?
I have had gator. It was okay.
Wrong. You just gotta have the right chef. It's country shit around here, man. We'll do some gator. So look, check this out. One thing before I get out of here with Brandon, but he gonna ask you something else too. Give me your top 3 female R&B artists, and then your top 3 male R&B artists. It can be a group too, like Jodeci, or you know what I mean.
Oh, you can't say. Can I just give you 3 that I love? Because I can't do.
Okay, you can give me 3, but I'm gonna say okay, that's the number 1.
All right, now like everybody knows, like I love Whitney Houston, but I'm not gonna put her in there because she was kind of pop, right? They say she was pop. Yeah. So when you say R&B artist, I'm gonna say Aretha Franklin.
Okay. The Queen.
Faith Evans.
Vocals out of this world.
Jasmine Sullivan.
You want to put her in your pocket.
Keep her. She's a prisoner.
On a little hamster wheel.
Want to keep her.
Yeah.
Favorite R&B male artist. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Big D.
Let me tell you something. Can I just say albums? Because I can't really give.
Like, okay, give me the albums. Give me the albums. But it's still gonna be that.
Carl Thomas Emotional, top freaking tier. Whoo, top tier.
Wait, like, what was that? Which one?
Emotional. Carl Thomas, the Emotional album.
Yeah. That's that was out of here.
That was pure raw emotion. Everything about that album.
That was out of here. That was out of here.
Jodeci, Diary of a Madman.
Classic. Like they first 3 albums was just untouchable though.
Yeah.
That Diary was
different though. Diary
wasn't no joke.
Joe, the Things Your Man Won't Do album. What is that? All That I Am. That.
Joe. Yeah.
Like mind blowing. They're like honestly, outside of a name I'm not gonna say, he in jail right now.
R. Kelly.
Outside of that,
Kelly shit doping him up. I'm gonna say it.
outside of the genius of that, like as far as R&B is concerned, and just the clever way that they talk or they sing, the harmonies, the stories behind it, the vocals, just in general, the beats. I really don't think outside of that other guy, there have been like albums.
Consecutive.
And there have been, like, I can name Drew Hill albums. Definitely Boyz II Men had.
Oh yeah.
Like Boyz II Men had Chris Brown. Like there have been other albums that are like great, but when I think of like music that has or albums that have stuck to my soul, those are the first 3 that come to mind.
Jodeci, ain't nobody fucking with Jodeci.
No, that Diary of that fan was.
Yeah,
all that stuff was iconic classics.
I was 13. My boyfriend brought me the little cassette tape.
Yeah, that shit was different. That shit was different.
The little cassette tape. I was like, because my boyfriend.
My nigga got me a tape, man. Y'all better get out the way.
Wait, Paula, you still got that tape though?
I probably do. Like I probably do. It's probably put up somewhere. I still have some cassette tapes, so I probably still have my Diary of a Man.
Boxes of tapes.
Indeed.
I probably still have it.
That's dope.
Paul, I'm gonna take you out with this. So, you made definitely a impact in the '90s, early 2000s, clearly. But if you could take any form of fashion back in the '90s and bring it to today, what
I did not come out in the '90s.
Well, you know what I mean.
My first single was 2004.
All right, well, yeah.
Like, nigga, don't date me like that.
Hey.
You was on the cusp.
If you take anything, because
if love you or they don't.
Man, I remember we used to do an interview for a magazine back in the 90s. It took 4 months for the article to get out. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine you promoting your shit. You 16 weeks to get that shit out.
Yeah.
That's how crazy. Think about that now, though. That's how it was, though. You 16 weeks to get the print. You know what I mean? So by the time they read that shit, they like, damn, that's why you have to have your shit on point. Make sure you talk about this because okay, I'm finna drop my album in March. Okay, so I'm doing my interview in November for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta see the future and say some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Indeed.
She was different.
It was
Paula, give your shout out, sweetheart.
Who am I shouting out? Hey y'all. Like, no, I'm joking. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. Always Baltimore City. Everything that I am, everything that made me came from that place. So I think all of or shout out to all of my fans, to my daughter, to my dad. Love you, Paul. That's my man. Right there. My mom, my sisters, and I mean just everybody that always supports me. Thank you so much. It means so much to have your support for doing the thing that God blessed me with, that I absolutely love. Like, I couldn't do it without the support of everybody who supports me.
Where can they find
And
you?
I will send some of my food on some dry ice to your peoples, your daddy, your mama and them, and they let them try it out. They'll see what's
Hey, you know,
branded.
you can do that.
We
My
will drop
family like
ship.
to eat. If it's good,
Brandon, we
they're
will
not
drop
going to
ship this
discriminate.
thing, man.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's coming. It's coming to a theater near you. You gonna see it. You gonna see it. Watch.
Paula, where give people your social media, sweetheart. Tell people where to
Sure. My
find you.
Instagram is Paula Campbell. My Twitter is Paula Campbell. My TikTok is the Paula Campbell. I'm just trying to get on TikTok now, so bear with me.
Yeah.
And my Facebook, I have two, so it's Paula Campbell and I Am Paula Campbell. Preferably the I Am Paula Campbell.
Man, y'all get out there, go support this lady, man. She has some of the bomb and shit. Catalog rolls deep. She's on Real Talk podcast with the man Branded and Tha Realest. Y'all know how we do it over here, man.
Paula,
it's California love over here.
All
That's
day,
every day.
California love.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Paula, I'll be
Yeah,
at you. I appreciate you. Anytime, you know, like I told you, I love you and appreciate you. And you've been so accessible to me for almost